What's up? Back in biceps day, baby. I don't know if you guys seen the Olympia. I know I'm a little late to this. It was pretty sick. Pretty sure Derek won open and Ramon, whatever you want to say, Ramondino, won classic, which was pretty sick to see. If you guys should check out C-Bum's video. That's a really good video. He was talking about his daughter growing up and stuff. That was really cool. But you got to see like the backstage shots of him watching and then seeing Raymond won. That was just super cool because, you know, as C-Bum was saying in the video, they had rivalries for like the past 4 years or whatever, and you know, Raymond got like second place a bunch of times, and just how hard he's worked, and then it paid off and he just collapsed to the floor. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's really sweet. But that just shows, I mean, what my motto always is just work hard, and that hard work will pay off in the end. You know, it might not seem like it in the first few, whatever, how long you're doing it, but eventually it will all pay off, right? That's why I always say, do good things and good things will come back to you, but don't expect them immediately, and don't expect them at all. You know, just do good because doing good's good. I mean, that's as simple as it comes. You know, we can detect good and bad because you have a consciousness, right? So just do the things that are good. I've never understood, and what I used to do in the past is I always thought I should have received something for doing good for people, or just doing good in general for whatever reason. And when you do good, you receive mental feedbacks of a positive energy, right? And that should just be what you should want back, if anything, right? If you want something back, and you know, you should just want a good, positive mental feedback. When you do something good for someone, you're like, wow, I did a good thing. I feel good. I feel better about myself, right? But you shouldn't expect them to give the same thing back to you, right? You may do something good for somebody that day, but they're in a horrible mood. You catch them on a really bad day. They might not even remember it that day. Or they could, and you could have changed their whole day from that. You know, doing good is just as simple as saying hello to somebody, right? They could feel unnoticed by society, or just by their people in their home, or by their friends, or, you know, whatever not. And then you say hi to them, and it changes their whole outlook, just on life, or just their day in general that day, you know? Like, wow, life really isn't that bad right now. You know, I'm just kind of tripping, you know? I know we've all been there, too. We've all just had a bad day. And then we see some act of kindness, or we, in my opinion, in the way, in my view, you see an act of God, and you're like, wow, God is really with me. Because I've been moments in my life where I didn't believe in it, right? I didn't believe in him. I didn't really care about all that kind of stuff. But when I started really thinking, and when I started to actually use my consciousness that he allowed me to have, I realized that he is here. And that every day that I wake up is another sign and message from God to keep doing more, right? My goal and objectives aren't done yet. I still have a job on this earth, and I don't fully know what it is, right? I think it right now is to be a popular, famous YouTuber. Maybe not even popular, right? Maybe not even famous, right? But maybe it's just to do YouTube and be an IFBB pro someday, right? Maybe it might change. I might be a family guy someday with, you know, whatever. I don't know, right? I will not know until the day I die. And even then, when I move on to the afterlife, I might not know still what my whole essential purpose was on this planet Earth. But I have hope, and I pray each and every night that I will get closer and closer and closer to those goals each and every day, right? And I think that's what all of you should do, is find something that you're genuinely passionate in, and train in those, and practice in those arts each and every day. If your passion is writing a book, writing books, write a book and keep working on it every day. If your passion is art, paint each and every day. If your passion is food, create foods each and every day. And for me, my passion is the gym. I'm going to go to the gym every day. It's non-negotiable. And that's the way you should treat your passions and your loves and everything, right? non-negotiables. They are something that you will not get rid of at all. Maybe one day you'll have to take a rest day from it, or an off day, whatever you want to call it. And because maybe you're so packed that day, or like that guy on the road right now, just his car just went down, right? And he's on the side of the road. You have subtle setbacks and bumps in the road that you're going to have to get through. And you might need to take a day off. Maybe one more, right? But you need to get back on that horse. You need to. Because what is life without passions and love? I think it's very dull. Because love is something that upgrades and updates and evolves each and every day. And so should you. You should evolve into a new person each and every day to learn more, to be better, right? And if you're not doing those things, then you're a zombie. Because you're stagnant, and you don't want to be stagnant in this world. That's one thing, is this world keeps moving each and every day. This world, these people, right? The earth is spinning constantly, hundreds of thousands of miles each and every second. And you are being stagnant. And that's not always a problem with being stagnant in the ways of just taking a rest, like I said. But the rest is for recovery. And your recovery is going towards your goal also, right? But if you are just simply laying in your bed, doing nothing each and every night, every day, you're living a purposeless life, and that will lead to destruction. Because I think that a man without purpose is very chaotic, because all that runs through his brain is usually bad thoughts. And as a man, you need to be a strong, level-headed person. And that's why this gym stuff is very important to me, and I will never let it go. Because like inside the gym and outside the gym, I could be a better person from it. So let's hit this gym day, baby. Let's go. First, what we got is a upper back, mid-back biased row. And on this machine, you're going to want to flare your elbows out and contract your shoulder blades together. If you keep your elbow tucked in, you'll hit more lats. And that's how you get that Dorito back look. But we're trying to get the back super thick. Now, for our second exercise, we have a lat pull down with a mag grip. Very good exercise if you want a wider back, get that Dorito look like I was saying last time. Pull down as hard as you can, explosively, and then slow on the way up to get a good contraction, on the way up, get a good stretch. Now for our last exercise, we're going to be hitting a lat row on the hammer strength machine, one of my favorite machines. This machine, just try to get your elbow tucked in as much as you can to hit your lats more. You'll hit your mid-back as well, especially on the stretch on the way down. But train heavy, around 4 to 8 reps for this exercise. For this next exercise, we're going to be working on the brachialis and making our arm bicep wider. This will help you with your peak too if you cross instead of just going straight up and down. As you can see in the video, I'm not just going straight up until the very end. But train heavy, around 4 to 10 reps with this. Be intense, go to failure. Here's one of my other favorite movements of the day. Just a cable easy bar curl. Train heavy, train intense is the last one. Nothing really, too precise about this movement other than try to keep your wrist just straight the whole time. Don't curl them and don't make them go backwards. And you'll get the most bicep contraction while doing that. Here's the end off biceps. It's mainly just to fatigue the bicep after you've done so much. Usually do about 6 sets total for this, but this is usually just pump work at the end as well. Kind of helps also with that thickness of the biceps, but this is also just a really good contraction, fun movement I like to do. And yeah. And then after this, I did shoulders, just did reverse pec deck, and then some lateral raises. Nothing too complicated, no front delt work. I do some every now and then, but mainly my rear delts and my sides need a lot more work than my fronts. What's going on, everybody? Ooh, holy moly. Gym lift is complete. Great back and biceps day. Got a pretty good pump at the end. Yeah, I think with the bulk, one of my main things is I kept my vascularity for the most part. I mean, some areas I have a little bit more fat than when I was cutting and stuff. Well, that's going to be obvious. That's going to happen because I'm bulking rather than cutting and stuff. So, whatever. But my biceps, even when they're really kind of just unpumped, but it's better when they're pumped, obviously, they're thick, right? Like for me, they've always been like, they don't look the best right now though. Pump is kind of over, sort of, but now it's just like, whatever. But my biceps were always my biceps are pretty long. Like I have like a little kind of, I'm trying to, right there, a little dent in them and shit. But, they weren't always wide. They were always kind of like long and kind of like, not like skinny, but like they weren't super wide. But now, dude, I have the bicep vein also with it, and they're wider, dude. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen Shizzy, but his arms, dude, that's what they remind me of. I'm like, whoa, dude, my arms are looking like really big, dude. Like, heck yeah, like from the front. Not just from like the side, but like from the front as well. I'm like, dang, dude. Because like a lot of your like things like in the front, like your like when you're just standing still, if your biceps look kind of skinny from the front, a lot of people are going to think you're not as big as you really are until you are from the side, and then you're a lot maybe wider from the side or whatever you want to call it. But I've gotten them where they're wider. I don't know what from. Maybe from a little bit of like preacher curls more, because I know that helps with thickness more. But in reality, just do whatever you feel the best in your biceps, right? I don't think that you should do one exercise always if it feels the best, right? If it feels great, right? Maybe do 4 sets of that and then 2 or 1 set of another exercise. And then you can call that for your biceps. What the heck was that? I don't know. Am I tripping? I don't know if I've just heard anything. But I'd say do about 5 to 6 sets per workout. So do about 10 working sets on your biceps a week, because they recover pretty fast. For me, I'm hitting a lot of biceps in my day, Monday through Friday, because I work at UPS and I'm lifting boxes. So a lot of that is like traps, and then like your arm, your biceps, because I'm lifting going like this sometimes with the boxes. Ooh, boom! We bring the boom. Remember those guys? Yeah, what happened to those guys? All I remember with those guys is this guy on their live stream was like, hey, my brother just died. Hey, I'm sorry your brother died. We'll give him 5 big booms. boom, boom. Like, that's so bad, dude. Like, that guy was probably having the worst day ever, or he was probably just trolling. Because why would you tell the Costco guys, of all people, that your brother just died? But maybe he had nobody else to vent to, right? Just hypothetically. All right, well, my brother just died. I gotta go tell them now. Your brother gets 5 big boom. That's horrible, man. I wonder what happened to those guys. I'm pretty sure. I think they did a Hoopify video though. I'm pretty sure they were the next guy. I know Joe Bartolozzi. He just had one. I like Joe Bartolozzi a lot. I watch him whenever I'm at work. I don't really watch him, but I listen to his VODs, which is like his streams. What's perfect about them, they're like 4 or 5 hours long. They last my whole work day. So, hey, might as well, bro. Keep me entertained on something. My ADHD needs something like that. But I'm kind of rambling off about stuff. But as always, guys, I don't really have much more to say. That's not as always. I'm just gapping right now. But pretty much, as always, train intense. Train like you have a purpose and a goal. And keep at it, man. Like, straight up, bro. There is nothing in this life, I don't think, that will give you more discipline than your true passions. If you don't continue with your passions and then what you genuinely love, your life will be depressing. I already said that, and I'm going to say that again. I hope you guys have a very blessed day. Keep going, guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.